To new possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So Nelly and Snoop are sellouts, and they're sellouts because they're performing for white supremacists. They've agreed to perform at Donald Trump's pre-inauguration event. And the reason why I say that they're sellouts is because they are performing for a man who referred to those white supremacists in Charlottesville as some very fine people. They're performing for a man that is doing everything in his power to tear down diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. They are voting for a man that joked about police brutality and did everything that he could when he was in power to reverse the reforms that the Obama administration tried to implement when it comes to the issue of police brutality. They are performing for a man that tried to suppress black voters in places like Detroit and other places around the country. They are performing for a man that was sued for housing discrimination, performing for a man that refused to rent to black people. They are performing for a man that took out a full-page ad calling for the death penalty against those young men that were falsely accused of rape and, in that Central Park case. They are performing for a man that has done everything to reverse the gains that we have had in our community. They are voting for a man that attacked affirmative action and appointed justices that reversed and ended affirmative action in this country. That's who you're voting, who you're dancing for. That's who you're tap dancing for. And the sad thing is, years ago, the first time when Donald Trump was elected, Snoop Dogg called out performers who agreed to perform for Donald Trump. He called them jigaboos. He called them Uncle Toms. And here we are a few years later, and Snoop Dogg is the one who's the jigaboo. He's the one that's the Uncle Tom, quote unquote. Now, his own words are coming back to haunt him, and it's a shame and a disgrace. And I listened to part of Nelly's interview with Willie D, and Nelly was tap dancing, making all these excuses for Donald Trump. He was trying to, criticize Joe Biden, and a lot of the criticism was warranted. I won't, discount what he was saying when he was criticizing Joe Biden. But he's glossing over several things that I had mentioned before. He's glossing over that. And he's saying, well, it's about the office of the president. It's not about the individual. And he made this big deal about Trump being elected. And I understand what he's saying in terms of the office, but some people disrespect the office and denigrate the office through their conduct. They're performing for a man that has said all kinds of despicable things about all kinds of people. This is the man that they're voting for. It's a disgrace, man. And, so it's not just about like an office. It's about what somebody does in that office. They're voting for a man that was convicted of fraud. They're voting for a man that was investigated for instigating an insurrection in this country. It inspired people to attack the nation's capital, to basically raid the Capitol. And officers were injured because of the words that came from Donald Trump's mouth. This is the man that you all are co-signing. You're co-signing a man that called African countries shithole countries. You're co-signing a man that, through your performance, you're dancing for a man that called Haitian immigrants, made all these despicable comments about Haitian immigrants, talking about they're eating the cats and the dogs. And because of those ridiculous comments, some people had to take their kids out of school for fear of attacks, fear of, racism and stuff like that because of a climate that this man helped create. You are performing for a man that denigrated the first black president by questioning his citizenship. You're performing for a man that launched his campaign on racism, fanned the flames of hatred. This is the man that you're performing for. So it's no wonder that people are calling you exactly what you are, sellouts, because all money's not good money. You didn't have to perform for Donald Trump. I mean, you guys are millionaires. You guys are rich, famous, and successful. There's no need for you to perform for a man that has done everything that he can to undermine the advances in our community. And some people want to point to individuals. Like they want to point to the fact that, okay, he helped pardon some people like Kodak Black and Lil Wayne. He helped out a few individuals, but his policies are detrimental to many Black people. And that outweighs the tokens or the little coins or crumbs that he has thrown at you by, partnering, a few Black celebrities. It's just a disgrace, man. And if people can cancel Chrisette Michele for performing for Donald Trump years ago, they need to cancel these two brothers. And I can't even call them brothers anymore.